Hey tea heads, this is Don from Mayleaf. In this video, how to get tea drunk. In this video, I'm going to be explaining the ways to get tea drunk. I'm going to try and get tea drunk myself, and then we're going to be doing a free giveaway so that one of you can taste a tea that I think gets you really tea high. This video is going to go onto the tea masterclasses and the Drinking with Friends playlists. If at any point in time you enjoy this video, then please give the video the thumbs up. The more thumbs in the air, the more tea videos are going to come your way. And if you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel yet, then go click that button. Getting tea drunk. In China it's called Cha Zui, and it basically just means that you're feeling the psychoactive effects of the tea plant. Many thousands of years ago, in the border areas of Yunnan province, southwest China, tea was first cultivated. And I suspect that it wasn't just cultivated for taste, but it was cultivated because of its very pleasant psychoactive effects. Interestingly, this area of the world is also where cannabis was first cultivated, so it's an area that is steeped in history cultivating psychoactive plants. What is it in tea that gives you this tea drunk feeling? What are the psychoactive compounds in tea? Well, there are 4 compounds that we know about that may have a psychoactive effect on you. The first is caffeine. Caffeine gives you that energy, gives you that rushy feeling. It also helps to stimulate blood circulation, so it acts as a catalyst for any other psychoactive compounds that you may be ingesting. The second compound is theanine. Now, theanine exists pretty much exclusively in tea and is an amino acid which crosses the blood-brain barrier and it actually affects your brain chemistry. It increases GABA production, and GABA is a neurotransmitter which helps to give you this feeling of relaxation, of calm. It helps to enhance mood, and it helps to stimulate alpha brainwave activity, which is that meditative but alert and creative state. The third compound in tea is GABA itself. So whilst L-theanine helps to increase the production of GABA, GABA also exists in tea. Now, there is some controversy about whether or not it crosses the blood-brain barrier, but it certainly gets absorbed by your digestive system and therefore probably has an effect on your nervous system. The fourth compound in tea that has a psychoactive effect is catechins. Now, catechins are very strong antioxidants that exist in higher proportions in certain teas, and they have been shown to bind with the CB1 and CB2 cannabinoid receptors in your brain. So they may contribute to a slightly stoned, slightly high feeling. Right, so those are the 4 compounds that we know about. I suspect that there is more going on in terms of other compounds, but we'll talk a bit about that in a second. So if you are looking for tea specifically to get tea drunk, then which teas should you choose? Now, all teas have these compounds in them in varying quantities. So just like alcohol, there are some alcohols that give you a certain rushy feeling in terms of a more energetic drunkenness, and there are certain alcohols that make you feel a bit more drowsy and a bit more relaxed. So the different levels in the leaf is going to have an effect on how tea drunk you get and the specific type of tea drunkenness you feel. If you're specifically looking to get tea drunk, you want tea that's high in theanine, high in caffeine, and high in catechins. So which teas are best to choose? Well, theanine and caffeine exist in higher proportions in the buds and the very top leaves of the tea plant. And therefore, I would say that oolong teas, which are made from slightly larger leaves, are probably not the tea that you should be going for. Catechins are higher in relatively unoxidized tea leaves. Therefore, I would also say that black teas are not probably going to get you too tea drunk. So if you're specifically looking to get tea drunk, I would say stay away from your black teas and stay away from your oolong teas, specifically the darker oxidized oolong teas. That leaves us with white, green, and pu'erh. Now, green tea is very famous for being very rich in catechins, being very high in theanine, especially if it's shade-grown green tea, and also probably having higher proportion compared to others of caffeine. Shade-grown tea has very high theanine, and matcha and gyokuro are very well known for being very high in theanine. So a good starting point if you want to get tea drunk is green teas, specifically shade-grown green teas, and matcha is also great because you're actually consuming the full power of the leaf. So drinking a strong matcha shot will give you this sense of tea drunkenness. However, as I said before, I think that there are other compounds that help to contribute to getting tea drunk. Now, this is only my personal experience, so I have no science to back this up at all, but I think that the level of minerality in the leaf has an effect. And the level of minerality is directly related to the age of the tea tree and the area that it's grown. I have gotten tea drunk on oolong teas, but only on old rock oolong teas that come from the perfect area in Wuyi Mountains. I've also gotten drunk on old pu'er teas. So the old tea trees, the Gushus of this world, the 200, 300, 500-year-old tea trees that have long, deep roots that are bringing a lot of minerality into their tea leaves, I think that has an effect on the tea drunkenness. I also think that there is something magical that happens when you age a tea. And I'm talking specifically about aged raw teas, raw pu'er teas, and also aged white teas. And white teas for me, aged white teas for me really, really have an effect. So I'm not sure if it's secondary oxidation or if it's a fermentation process, but there's something that happens in the aging process of white tea specifically for me that really increases the tea drunkenness. And it changes the feeling. It's not like just a tea drunkenness, a rushy feeling from caffeine or that feel-good feeling of theanine. It actually makes the tea slightly psychedelic, a little bit more trippy, and just a little bit more of a stoned feeling. So if I were you, I'd be looking for raw pu'er teas and I'd be looking for aged white teas. But which one of those is the most powerful? Well, I want to find out. So I need a drinking partner. Look who's here. Celine is in the house. It's a Saturday night in London and it's time to start our tea drinking session. So we have two teas here that we're going to try to see how tea drunk we're going to get. The first is a sheng pu'er, a raw pu'er, 2016 harvest from Lao Banzhang. Now people who know Lao Banzhang area, the mountain in Yunnan, is renowned. It's renowned as a terroir which is very, very rich and produces tea with high potency. This is not an aged tea, but it is from Gushu. This is 300-year-old tea trees. And we have here an aged white tea. So this is an aged Bai Mu Dan. Aged, it was picked in 2009, so it's a 7-year aged Bai Mu Dan, and this is something from my private collection. So, which one do you want to drink?
I think I'm gonna stick to the Gushu just because I'm working tomorrow and I'm a bit scared of the aged white.
Which means you've left me with the aged white, and it does scare me a little bit as well. Okay, I'll talk about that in a second. So we've got 10 grams of each here. So this one we picked because it's a raw pu'er. It should be very mineral rich, and therefore that minerality will help in terms of the tea drunkenness. It's also really, really rich in buds and top leaves. So the catechins, the theanine, and all the caffeine is in there as well. And then we've got the aged white tea to see how much the fermented or the aged effect has on tea drunkenness. So what we're going to do, it's very unscientific. She's going to drink the Gushu. I'm going to be drinking the white tea. We're going to go cup for cup, round for round, and see how it affects each of us differently. Do you want to start brewing?
Yeah, sounds good. I'm just going to say, you didn't mess around with those leaves, did
There's
you?
10 grams of leaf. Okay, there's 10 grams of leaf, but you've got quite a large Yixing pot here.
Yeah,
and I've got 10 grams of the white tea, the aged Bai Mu Dan in the Gai One. So, a couple of things that you need to think about if you want to get tea drunk. The first is that I would advise not drinking on a full stomach. Just like when you drink alcohol, if you've just eaten a meal, it's going to take longer for the tea to be absorbed into the body, and so it'll be more of a time release, slow release effect. So you're not going to get the full whack of the tea drunkenness. The second thing is, well, actually I should say, however, don't just drink it directly on an empty stomach because it can really kind of pull your blood sugar levels down. If you start to feel a bit dizzy, then I'd advise having a little snack nearby, something. When you go to China, they always have little snacks nearby just to boost your blood sugar level up. The second thing to really do is you've always got to brew gong fu. If you want to get tea drunk, you've got to brew gong fu style because you want rich tea, you want really strong tea. And when you go to China and you see all those men and women sitting, drinking tea, gong fu style, you know that they're getting a bit happy, they're getting a bit high, and they're basically drinking tea shots. So these are really strong shots, ultra rich shots of tea. They're not downing it like a shot, they're sipping it, they're appreciating it, but it's still very strong shots of tea. If you brew Western style, you're never going to have the same richness. So you've got to brew gong fu style. Go ahead, you can begin.
The other thing is that they really make it strong. Like, it's quite shocking at the beginning. When we first went for a trip, I was like, wow, this is strong. But
so we've got 10 grams of leaf here. We aren't messing around here. It's Saturday night. You've got to work tomorrow. I don't. Okay, so I have got the aged white tea. Now, the aged white tea, when I say it scares me a little bit, is the last time I did this, I was flying. I mean, flying. Really, really, really powerful effect. It made me feel very kind of euphoric, very up, but also strangely trippy, a little bit psychedelic. It brought me to a place that was certainly, stimulating a lot of thought, a lot of emotions. It was quite a powerful, powerful tea. So I know that I'm in for a little bit of a ride here.
That should be fun.
Okay. Well, first of all, what we're going to do is we're going to have a taste, right? So tea is about tasting first and foremost. It's not just about the effect. Let's have a taste of these two teas. So we'll sip each other's teas on the first round, just so we can give a little bit of taste, and then we'll go cup for cup, and I won't touch your lovely Gushu.
Because I really want to taste yours, I have to say, but yeah, I want to see what happens to you first.
Wow. Okay, so actually, there's certain things we talked before. You weren't here, but we were talking about the different compounds in tea that are psychoactive. Caffeine and catechins are psychoactive. Okay, and caffeine and catechins both have a bitter taste. So if you get a tea that has quite a strong astringency, quite a strong bitterness to it, then it's more likely that it's going to have a slightly tea drunk effect. Theanine, which is the amino acid which is psychoactive, theanine has a savoury taste. So theanine is similar to glutamate. Glutamate is in MSG, in soya sauce. It has that savoury vegetal that turns to sweetness, that kind of delicious, savoury, thick taste. So if you taste teas that have that savouriness, it's very high in theanine. These ones are, we're high in those compounds, but now we're adding minerality and we're adding age. So let's taste the Gushu first. So this is a Banzhang 2016. Cheers. Oh, I'll show the tea.
Yeah, true.
So you can take a little look. There you go. Cheers.
Cheers.
Whew. Strong.
Oh my god.
Oh, but amazing.
But it's like sweet.
Oh, I'm jealous now. I want this tea. It's so floral.
It's really floral. But I love, like, when you first get the tea in your mouth, it's so sweet. It's bitter, but it's like a sweetness.
Yeah. So this is strong.
So good.
It's got a fair amount of bitterness, I would say, but that bitterness will transform, I know, with this tea.
I love
it. And it's got a real floral nature, quite jasmine.
Very floral. You have like the woodiness of a puer, but so floral. The top notes.
And a little creamy as well.
Oh yes, creamy.
But yeah, you're right. Top notes. A lot of top notes on this. Wow, such an amazing tea.
So good.
This will be different.
This was what I needed.
So now this is a Bai Mu Dan. Bai Mu Dan is the young buds and young leaves, and this is aged 7 years.
Okay, now I'm jealous. Can we switch?
Oh no, wow.
It's like it's so honey. It's so sweet.
It's got honey. It's got a kind of slight medicinal taste to it as well that comes with the aging.
There's a taste. It's like Dad's out. You know, there's like red
Chinese
dates.
red dates.
It really reminds me of that.
Wow, it's beautiful, beautiful. Wow, it's been a long time since I've drunk this tea. It's probably been about 7 or 8 months because, as I said, the last time was quite an experience for me. And it's got a slight tartness, a slight acidity, and that is a flavour profile that you're looking for aged tea. So we talked about theanine having that savoury, caffeine and catechins having that bitterness. With the mineral-rich teas, you're looking for that minerality, right? That rockiness.
Yeah.
And with aged tea, you're trying to find that slight tartness, that acidity, that sourness. And then you know you've got powerful tea.
So good.
Are you ready to go?
Let's
Shot for shot. We will be back once we are hopefully a bit more tea drunk. Hello everybody. Okay, so we're now cup 25, shot for shot. We've been doing it. I'm feeling quite tea drunk. It's been about half an hour, 40 minutes since we started. So let's try and compose ourselves from the giggliness, and you can tell those people out there how you feel with the Lao Banzhang.
Very giggly and very hyped, like very energized. That's one of the main things. I can't stop moving my legs, which never happens usually.
I'm a bit...
Yeah, it's like...
Yeah.
Could do stuff right now. I could, dance around the room probably. That kind of feeling. So I feel really good. I feel like we did it very fast though.
We hit this pretty hard. No, I wouldn't recommend that everybody does this. Take your time with this. We went for it. We hit it pretty hard. We've done about 25 cups in about 30 minutes.
Yeah.
I think by about cup 7 or 8, we were both feeling the kind of a little bit of the sweats, a little bit rushy, a little bit of energy. We started to be a bit giggly. We started to speak a bit faster. And then that just increased. Yeah. It became a bit silly. We became a bit stupid, and we were saying kind of stupid things. And that's kind of where you've stayed, I think. Yeah. But for me, for this white tea, this aged white tea, it's really added this element of real high. Yeah. Like I feel very floaty. I feel like a little bit like I walked around a bit and I feel like I'm floaty, and a bit trippy, a little bit psychedelic. And this is only after about half an hour. So these effects are going to get even stronger. So pretty powerful stuff. Yeah. I feel like we need to slow down a bit. Definitely. And probably if I'd gone for another half an hour, I might not have been so coherent as I am right now. So, I personally think, I don't know about you because it's very difficult, but I personally think that the stronger tea is the aged white tea. Yeah. So, this is the tea that we're going to be giving away. So this is from my private collection. We're not selling this at Mayleaf, but I'm going to give one of you out there a good 10-gram gong fu portion of this tea so that you can experience this yourself. So what you have to do is, number 1, you have to be a subscriber. So subscribe to the channel. And number 2, you need to leave a comment in the section below, either giving us some experience of your tea drunkenness, so any experience that you've had while you were tea drunk, or if you haven't been tea drunk before, then why you would like to get tea drunk. And then what we'll do is probably in about 2 weeks' time, so first week of September, we will pick somebody out of a hat who's a subscriber and has left a comment. We'll probably do it on Instagram, so you'll see the video on Instagram, and we will select somebody who can experience this incredible tea. Wow, this has really given me a rush.
It's so tasty, that tea. Like, I would actually have
delicious.
I kept saying, can I have some of yours? But it's true, we didn't want to mix the different drunkenness.
Now we can, okay? Let's do this. Once the camera stops rolling, we can start to share. Anyway, that's it, tea heads. If you made it to the end of this video, then please give the video the thumbs up. Check out our YouTube playlist and let us know if there are any videos that you would like us to make.
I'm so glad I'm not talking.
If you're ever in London, then come visit us in Camden to say hi and taste our wares. If you have any questions or comments, then please fire them over. Other than that, I'm Don May. This is Celine from Mayleaf. Thank you for being a part of the revelation of true tea. Stay away from the tea bags, keep drinking the good stuff, and spread the word, because nobody deserves bad tea. Bye.
Bye. Oh my God.